Hi everyone, welcome back to Barney's Anniversary Month. We are now getting to the end of the Lyons Group era of the Barney Home videos, and this is the final 4 that we're going to be taking a look at today. So sit back and relax and enjoy the video show's retrospective. Once upon a time. All that I can say is, once again, another really great one. Sean is trying to convince his friends of the magic words, once upon a time. After some fancy footwork of when we march, he says the words and Carlos uses the water hose to make it rain while it's sunny, and then using a bubble machine to make raining bubbles. But then they notice it was Carlos all along.
Carlos? Sean? Magic words, huh? Just kidding.
They went inside the classroom and they are still unconvinced of the magic words. Then, Stella the storyteller came to visit all the way from Norway, and with the help from Barney, they helped teach the kids that the magical effect of Once Upon a Time is able to tell wondrous and fantastical stories. After all Stella's props were unpacked magically, Barney and the kids decided that one of them are reading the 3 stories. The first story was Rumpelstiltskin, where a little girl tries to spin the straw into gold, but it looks like cow food. Then this funny little man came in and helped her turn the straw into gold. The king is impressed and decides to marry her and be her queen. She agrees, and then some time had passed, and they had a baby. The funny little man came back and wanted the baby to be with him, but she refused, so she has to guess this guy's name for 3 days. The queen sent her trusted guard, in this case Barney, out to the village, and then he came back where he was walking through the woods, where he heard this little man said,
"The queen is going to lose the game, for Rumpelstiltskin is my name."
When he came back, the queen guessed some names before she guessed Rumpelstiltskin, and then he never bothered the queen and king ever again. After singing John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, Baby Bop joins in on the fun, and Barney tells the story of Rapunzel. This story is about Rapunzel being in this tall castle with the witch ever since that she was a baby. There are no doors or steps, so the only way to get up there is Rapunzel's very long hair to climb up to the tallest castle.
We really should get an elevator.
I know. Ouch!
One day, a boy from the village came to the castle and they sang a song, "Does Your Hair Hang Low?" And then he said the rhyme and he climbed to the castle and have a nice conversation with Rapunzel. And her secret to keep her hair amazing is baby shampoo. But one day, Rapunzel spilled the beans to the silly witch about her friend, and she uses those big scissors to cut them and put them on her own head.
That's naughty.
The boy decides to trick the silly witch by putting glue on her hair rather than baby shampoo, and then they made their escape. The final story is Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, where Papa, Mama, and Baby Bear were having porridge for breakfast, but it was too hot for them, so they decided to go for a walk over the mountain. Goldilocks came to the house and snuck into their home. Goldilocks ate some porridge that were too hot, too cold, and the last one was just right. Then she sat down onto some chairs until the last one is just right before Baby Bear's chair had broken to pieces. She brushed it off, and she was sleepy. So she went onto Papa Bear's bed, and then on Mama Bear's bed, and then on Baby Bear's bed. But when the bears came back, they were surprised that someone has been eating their porridge, as well as sitting in their chairs and sleeping in their beds. After singing "Are You Sleeping?", Baby Bear screams after she noticed that Goldilocks has her blankie. She ran out of the bear's house, and both Goldilocks and the 3 bears learned their lessons. After the story, Stella revert her clothes all set to go to Hawaii to share those wonderful stories. There are so many things to love about this, such as the stories that they taught, the song Once Upon a Time made its debut here, and it's a beautiful song to listen to, and of course, the music. This was Joseph Phillips' first video where he was the music composer for the franchise. That is, if you discount Kids for Character. And like I said before in my review of Season 4, his music did not disappoint me, and he made a great first impression. Phillips would later be the music composer for the Barney and Friends television series for 11 seasons, starting with Season 4. Now let's get into the facts. This is Stephen Fieldman's first time directing for the franchise, and he would later direct some episodes of Seasons 4 and 5 and some home videos, and then returning in Season 11 afterwards. This is the final appearance of Sean, but was originally going to be in Sing and Dance with Barney, but John David Bennett II declined due to filming of the movie Certain Guys. And this is the only time where Kristen's hair is longer than usual. As for the costume designs, well, this is the final appearance of the second Season 3 Barney costume, and as for Baby Bop, it is nothing much different than the previous suit from Season 3, except for the eyelashes, which are smaller and much more flattered, and they're raised higher than the previous one. Also, the I Love You arrangement may be considered a prototype for Season 4. Overall, Once Upon a Time is a really great home video. Joseph Phillips did a great job with the music, those classic fairy tales are nice, and Stella the Storyteller is charming as always. So for that, I will have to give Barney's Once Upon a Time a solid 10 out of 10. Barney's Sensational Day. Well, this video is sensational fun. Carlos, Jason, and Kim were making things out of clay, like a pizza, a snowman, and a rainbow. The rainbow suddenly rised, and it ended with Barney just sitting on the treehouse structure. And then he comes to life. After making with clay, they decided to finger paint Barney holding the flower pot. They use colors to mix up purple, green, and orange. And the process is finished.
Oh, it's super deep super! Oh.
Then Tasha came in and shared the toy camera with everyone. After taking turns, they wished that they could make a real video. So Barney brings out his camera just so that the kids could make their own show by using 5 of their senses. And they call it
Barney's Sensational Day. We'll call it Barney's Sensational Day.
And that's the name drop of this video. After singing the Having Fun song, which made its debut here, they went to the playground where they heard a mockingbird. After listening to the mockingbird, Barney's version, Tasha had a great idea of making a game show named Did You Hear That? They guessed various sounds until BJ shows up. After singing about listening, they decided to make a movie and BJ can be the hero. But before they do that, they would have to get some exercise, getting blindfolded to see if they know their healthy food, and brushing their teeth after they eat. While the kids are getting everything ready, BJ thought of being a baseball player for their film, but he decided not to. Then he decided to be a cowboy, but once again, he is unsure about it. And then he wanted to be an astronaut flying all the way to the moon, but he doesn't want to do that either. Then Kim got a great idea that BJ can be a superhero after finding a cape, and then they got to work painting those cardboard cutout trees, getting the lights, makeup, and the camera. After filming, they went to see the Super Duper Theater to see the movie. They got their tickets and made their way into the theater. Then they got some delicious popcorn to eat at the theater, and then they find some seats to watch the film. The film starts, and it stars
BJ as Captain Pickles!
Well said, Announcer Barney. Well said. Anyway, this simple plot follows Bobby, in this case Jason, after he wandered too far in the woods, and then he came across three heroes: Muscle Boy, Speedy Girl, and of course, Captain Pickles. The two heroes showed off their superpowers, such as lifting a big heavy rock and going around the tree super fast. Since the two heroes can't get Bobby back home, Captain Pickles picked up the pickle scent and followed him all the way home. After that, Bobby's mother invites him to a picnic and have a nice pickle.
Say, this is a real dilly.
Then the movie was over and everybody enjoyed it. And their day has been sensational because they use their five senses. There are some really good things to like about this video, like the dream sequences that BJ wants to be a baseball player, a cowboy, and an astronaut. And those animated backgrounds would later be reused in Good Job in Season 6. And the guys who were responsible for the backgrounds is the Dallas, Texas company DNA Productions. They would later do the backgrounds in Barney's Adventure Bus later on, which we'll get to those videos from the Lyric Era next time. The company would go on to animate some TV shows and movies, such as Olive the Other Reindeer, Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, followed by The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, and The Ant Bully before the company's closure in 2006. I also like the game show segment of the video where the three contestants try to guess which sounds do they hear. The songs in this video are amazing to listen to, such as the Having Fun song, their own version of Listening to the Mockingbird, and the Popcorn song, which also made its debut here. And my personal favorite throughout the whole video is BJ's superhero alter ego, Captain Pickles, with a green cape with a pickle on the back, and a mask with pickles on both sides, and wings attached to his shoes. My thoughts on BJ having a superhero alter ego is a great idea. They would definitely use his alter ego in the Hit Era episodes to great advantage, even giving a song dedicated to him in Season 9. Also, in Stick With Imagination, BJ used the name Captain Pickles while pretending to be a pirate with no relation to his superhero alter ego self. As for the kids themselves, they're good just as they are. This is Tasha and Jason's final regular appearance until they return in Sing and Dance with Barney. This is Carlos' final appearance in the franchise, although his actor would have a mini reunion a few years later. And this is Kim's official debut, portrayed by Erica Daniele Vega. And she was really good, and she would continue to be the character into the television series until 2000, and then return as a dancer in Let's Make Music and dancing in the Hit Era. Vega will also go on to be in movies and TV shows such as East Lost High, for instance, and she appeared on American Idol talking about her time on the show, as well as various interviews a decade or two later. It just goes to show of how dedicated this gal is. Same for Gomez and Lovato. This was the final appearance of the Seasons 2 and 3 Barney doll, the first home video where Fred Holmes directed before he directed Barney episodes for Barney and Friends, and the final home video to feature the treehouse and school sets before they were renovated. So, do I consider this as a good finale to the Lyons Group era? And to that I say, yes. It is a good finale to the era of the franchise. Everything about it is really good, especially BJ's superhero alter ego. So for that, I'm going to have to give Barney's Sensational Day a 9 out of 10. It may be a good finale to this era, but we actually have 2 more videos that I consider canon to this era. Barney's musical scrapbook. Well, after some great home videos here and there, they got back into the Barney clip show phase. This clip show follows Barney as he was looking at his scrapbook photo album, looking at the past events featuring clips from Barney and Friends Season 3. And that's pretty much it, basically. This is the first appearance of the new playground and treehouse set, although the school wasn't seen since the interior was not completed during the making of this video. Also, there was no bench around the tree until the bench made its debut in Camp Wanna Runaround, which will cover the Lyric Era videos eventually. This is the final appearance of the first Season 3 Barney costume, although it would be used in live appearances until 1998. And despite being used in the video, the cover of the VHS and DVD releases, they used the Season 4 Barney design. As for that line sparkle effect when Barney goes into his closet, that would be used in the international airings of 5 Kinds of Fun in Season 6, as well as in some episodes of Season 7 and 8. Now, I know that people are going to be screaming at me when I say, do I think Barney's musical scrapbook is canon to the Lyons era? And my answer to it is yes. Why? Because of the Season 3 Barney costume. Because the Lyric Era Barney has not been built yet. And I consider the new playground and treehouse setting as a sneak peek on what's to come next. And that's why I consider Barney's musical scrapbook as part of the Lyons Group Era. Anyway, I think Barney's musical scrapbook is a fairly nice clip show, and it's pretty sad that this is one of the few times where you get to see Season 3 footage in DVD quality, and it's a total miss. If Barney's musical scrapbook was an absolute hit with kids, then they could make box sets out of them, but alas, Hit Entertainment didn't. So for that, I am going to give Barney's musical scrapbook a 9 out of 10. Barney's Stu-u-upendos puzzle fun. Well, that's different than usual. The purpose of the existence of this clip show is with the Actimates Barney doll by your side, you can help him solve a 10-piece puzzle, as well as watching moments from Barney and Friends Season 3 once again, and some home videos. And that's basically the purpose of this video. Okay, right off the bat, this is the only Barney clip show to not have any new content, which is pretty weird and kind of strange. But I can understand why. Same for the television series and credit sequence, while Love to Read with Barney is the first. This is the final video to have Stephen Bates Boltz and Lori Lazarus credited. While Lazarus would go on to be a writer for 5 episodes for Courage the Cowardly Dog, Stephen Bates sadly passed away on November 2nd, 2003 at the age of 50 from AIDS. Rest in peace, Bates. We will never forget you for putting great effort into the music in the direct-to-home video series and writing songs in the television series. The song So Proud was previously heard in Barney Goes to the Circus, and the end credits music is from Barney's Sensational Day, except it is shortened. So, do I think that Barney's Stu-u-upendos Puzzle Fun is canon? Well, it depends the way that you look at it. If you consider this to be non-canon because it doesn't have any new material, then that's fine. But if some people who think it is canon, that's fine too. But for me, I'm somewhere in the middle. So, do I recommend this clip show? Well, if you're going to watch this, then you need to have the Actimates Barney to interact with this. because if you decided to watch it without the doll, it can be pretty boring going from the music background to clip without any dialogue whatsoever. I'll be nice. I will give this clip show a 5 out of 10. And that's the Barney Home videos from the Lyons Group Era. This had took me a month to get through, and I'm glad that I got through all of the Barney videos covered, starting from the early 90s until the late 90s. The fun of the Barney Home videos isn't over, because next time we will be diving straight into the Lyric Era home videos, and this is going to be a fun one. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let me know what are your thoughts on this whole lineup of videos from this era. And what is your favorite Barney Home video of that time period? This is Dre Edwards, and I'll catch you in the realm of imagination.